calling all history buffs and food lovers. Today, we're taking you on a delicious journey through time, exploring American cuisine from the 1900s all the way to the 2010s. We'll delve into everything from the hearty stews of the early 1900s to the rise of convenience foods in the 1950s. We'll also explore the influence of global flavors and how iconic dishes like Caesar salad and fajitas came to be. Buckle up for a whirlwind tour packed with fascinating trends and maybe even a few dishes that will have you scratching your head. A meaty and sweet start, 1900s. Let's whisk ourselves back to the early 1900s, stepping into a world where the fast food craze hasn't even been dreamt up yet. In this tasty time travel, we're sinking our teeth into the heart and soul of American dining. Think less about chicken nuggets and more along the lines of home-cooked, belly-warming goodness. Imagine the kitchen bustling with the aromas of stews and roasts, each dish a testament to the era's love for hearty, wholesome family meals crafted from whatever was local and available. Now, no meal is complete without a dive into dessert, right? Picture this, ice cream not just as a scoop, but as an event, thanks to the wonders of early refrigeration. And pies? Oh, they weren't just pies. They were slices of heaven, packed with seasonal fruits or creamy custards, proving that a sweet ending was more than just a nice to have, it was essential. Oysters take center stage, 1910s. In the early 1900s, American cuisine took a bold turn. The 1910s saw a peculiar trend emerge. Oysters were all the rage. These mollusks, once seen as a poor man's food, became surprisingly trendy and affordable. They were everywhere, from breakfast buffets to fancy dinner menus. But just like many food fads, the oyster craze had a shelf life. Rising prices and prohibition in the 1920s put a damper on the bivalve obsession. Salads shed their sissy image, 1920s. Dive into the roaring 20s, where America was buzzing with the excitement of jazz, the allure of speakeasies, and Hollywood was just starting to become the glamorous film industry we know today. Amidst this backdrop of prohibition and hidden nightclubs, this era also saw the rise of a rather unexpected culinary star, the Caesar salad. The mastermind behind this green sensation was Cesar Cardini, an Italian restaurateur who brought his flair and creativity to Tijuana, Mexico, escaping the tight grip of prohibition. Legend has it, on a bustling 4th of July weekend in 1924, Cardini's kitchen was running low on supplies. With a restaurant full of hungry patrons, he did what any great chef does best, improvised. With limited ingredients on hand, he combined romaine lettuce, Parmesan cheese, croutons, and a creamy dressing to create a dish that was both delicious and surprisingly hearty. Caesar created more than just a salad, he created a masterpiece. Decadence for the wealthy, 1930s. Even though the Great Depression cast a long shadow over America, the wealthy still managed to find pockets of culinary sunshine. Unlike the average American forced to tighten their belts, these privileged few continued to throw lavish dinner parties. Imagine extravagant spreads featuring glistening lobster tails, roasted capon, that's especially fattened chicken, for the uninitiated, and delicate potato risole crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. These decadent dishes were a stark contrast to the reality of the times, a world away from the breadlines and soup kitchens that dotted the American landscape. Wartime innovation and island vibes, 1940s. During World War II, American kitchens became hubs of innovation as rationing and shortages of ingredients like sugar, butter, and meat reshaped the culinary landscape. Families turned to meatless meals, making hearty stews and loaves out of vegetables, legumes, and grains to compensate for the scarcity. Casseroles and one-pot dishes, utilizing ingredients like canned tuna and condensed soup, became staples due to their efficiency and minimal use of rationed items. Creative substitutes gave rise to mock dishes, such as mock apple pie made with Ritz crackers, showcasing the era's ingenuity. Victory gardens encouraged the growth of homegrown produce, leading to a surge in vegetable-centric recipes and home canning to preserve the bounty. Essentials like powdered eggs and milk replaced their fresh counterparts in baking and cooking, while Spam and other canned meats provided valuable protein sources. This period of culinary creativity, driven by necessity, not only kept families fed but also left a lasting impact on American cuisine, fostering a culture of resourcefulness and adaptation that echoes in kitchens today. But food wasn't just about survival during this time. There was a global influence on cuisine. American soldiers stationed overseas were introduced to foreign cuisines, leading to a greater willingness to experiment with new foods and flavors upon their return. This exposure helped popularize foods like pizza, pasta, and various Asian dishes in the American diet. Similarly, the presence of Allied soldiers in different parts of the world introduced American food products and cooking methods to other cultures, influencing global eating habits. Convenience takes over, 1950s. The completion of the American highway system in the 1950s wasn't just about speeding up travel. It had a profound impact on what ended up on our plates. This new infrastructure made it easier to transport food across vast distances, paving the way for a rise in processed foods. Convenience became king. Tuna noodle casserole and Jell-O, with their long shelf life and simple preparation, became staples in American households. Even traditional holidays like Thanksgiving weren't immune, with frozen dinners offering a quick and easy alternative to the traditional feast. Julia Child brings French flair, 1960s. In the swinging 60s, a culinary revolution arrived on American shores courtesy of the one and only Julia Child. This charismatic chef, with her infectious personality and no-nonsense approach, brought French cuisine to the masses through her cookbook Mastering the Art of French Cooking and her hit TV show The French Chef. Julia's signature dish, beef bourguignon, became a household name, inspiring home cooks across the nation to dust off their whisks and embrace the world of rich sauces, braised meats, and decadent flavors. This wasn't just about fancy food though. Julia's influence extended far beyond the kitchen. She empowered home cooks, particularly women, to experiment and explore new culinary territories, forever changing the American dinner table. Health food revolution and fondue fun, 1970s. The 1970s saw a fascinating shift in American cuisine. While health-conscious hippies embraced vegetarian options and granola, a more playful side emerged with fondue parties becoming all the rage. However, the decade wasn't all fads. Pioneering California chefs like Alice Waters championed fresh, local ingredients, laying the groundwork for a more sustainable and conscious approach to food that continues to influence us today. California cuisine spreads and tri-tip takes over, 1980s. California continued to be a trendsetter in the 1980s. The smoky flavors of Santa Maria barbecue put juicy tri-tip sandwiches on menus nationwide. Healthier options emerged too, with pasta salad offering a lighter alternative to fries. Meanwhile, portion sizes were on the rise with the explosion of the Cheesecake Factory. Their massive menus, thick enough to rival a phone book, offered something for everyone and solidified their place as a dining destination. A fiesta of flavors, 1900s. America's food scene got a flavor boost in the 1990s thanks to a surge in immigration. Tapas, those delightful small plates from Spain, took center stage, offering a fun and social way to enjoy a variety of dishes. Meanwhile, Tex-Mex cuisine, with its vibrant flavors and hearty portions, exploded in popularity. Fajitas, served sizzling on a hot plate, became a signature dish, leaving a lasting mark on American restaurants and our love for Tex-Mex food. Science meets cuisine and kale takes the crown, 2000s. The early 2000s saw a fascinating trend in fine dining, molecular gastronomy. Imagine spherified apple juice caviar bursting in your mouth, or garlic foam adding a whimsical touch to your dish. This science meets cuisine approach created visually stunning and innovative plates. However, the focus on health soon shifted gears. Kale, with its abundance of nutrients, became the new superstar on menus across the country. Practicality and good-for-you ingredients took center stage, offering a more approachable take on healthy eating. Avocado obsession and fusion fare, 2010s. Fast forward to the 2010s, and the food scene was all about the avocado. This luscious green superstar became a ubiquitous ingredient, popping up in everything from breakfast toast to salads, and even finding its way into baby food. But fear not, for those with a more adventurous palate, the trend of fusion cuisine continued to flourish. Korean-Mexican tacos, a delicious marriage of bold flavors, became a hot favorite, showcasing the creativity and global influences shaping modern food. So, there you have it. A whirlwind tour of American food trends, decade by delicious decade. Now, the question remains, which era would tempt your taste buds the most? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to check out more culinary history videos for your next culinary adventure.